All right. Well, hey, team. It is Monday night. If you can believe it, it is August 1st, 2022. Heading into a new month, and it's so good to see you guys coming on tonight. It is, my name is Dee Corton, if I didn't mention that, and we come together every Monday night. Whether you're a new coach, experienced coach, or a coach just checking us out for the first time, we know the power of coming together in community. We know the power of what we're doing together as a team, and we come to learn and grow together. So I just want to take a couple of minutes before we get into our topic, which is going to be so fun tonight. Lori and I are going to team up, give you the top 10 secrets that your coach wants you to know. Lori and I kind of went through. Lori is one of my coaches, so we kind of went through what we thought would be helpful for everybody, but there is a lot going on. So we want to make sure that you know what's going on so that you can effectively get it all on your calendars, communicate it well to other people, etc. But before we jump into that, I don't want to miss the opportunity to celebrate the month of July, because I know for some of us, the month was kind of all over the place. Some of us, our businesses were up. Some of us, our businesses were down. We talked about that a little bit on the leadership call, but the great thing is that we're really getting positioned for what we consider a growth time in our business, which is the change of seasons. When kids start going back to school, and that might not make sense to you if you don't live here in the South, but in Atlanta, kids went back to school today, August 1st. But the change of season, which is coming up no matter where you live, this just tends to be a time at the close of summer where people are looking to get back to structure and all that. But despite that, in the month of July, we had 15 coaches in our organization that ranked up to new levels, and some very significant levels. So congratulations to you. You're out building your business, reaching new people, more people, and that is what we are all about, is being able to make that kind of impact. Together as a group, we welcomed 336 new clients into our organization. So, I mean, significant number of people that we are able to help, and 20 new coaches joined our organization. And so welcome if you are one of those 20. And we had 57 coaches total that qualified for our Awaken Leadership Conference, which is happening in October. So I had created these slides for our leadership call earlier today, but I wanted to just pull it up just to share with you guys so we can make sure we're all on the same page before we jump into our topic. Just a couple of quick reminders of what's happening. So let me get my slideshow going. There we go. So the month of July and August, Optavia has given us the most incredible gift of our new coach accelerator bonus. And this is something that both you as the sponsor benefit from and your new coach benefits from. So it's August 1st. So we have one full month to still, any coach that you bring onto your team this month is going to be eligible for the benefits and the bonuses. There is a separate post in Coaches Out for Change that outlines all of this. But just to clarify, the new coach, these are increased bonuses based on the number of clients that they bring in. So if they bring in 3 to 4 clients this month, they're going to get a $150 bonus. If they bring in 5 clients, it's a $250 bonus. And Optavia will match you as the sponsor on the bonus, because they know that you are working hard in partnership with them. But the new coach also, as an encouragement for them to keep their momentum, can earn those same bonuses in month 2 and 3. So this slide had been created to show in conjunction with the normal commissions that they would earn, and assuming also they'd get certified, that within a 3-month time period, so August, September, and October, their pay for those 3 months, they could actually earn, down here at the bottom right, $3,944.09, which is incredible for launching a brand new business for $199, right? Our coach kit. So thank you, Optavia, for that gift. And just want to make sure, because we're going to do a lot of things to help support you bringing on new coaches. So the first is being just making sure everybody's aware, next Tuesday night, so not tomorrow, Tuesday night, we're going to do a sneak peek into coaching, which is going to happen right after the community call at 8 p.m. Last month we did one of these, and every single person, the same amount of people that were on the community call for 30 minutes, stayed on for the coaching for 30 minutes. So that's a sign people are curious. They want to know. We're going to do real stories from coaches, like you right here on our team, talking about what they thought and what the reality was when they stepped into coaching. And then, because we know we have a lot of new coaches coming to our team, starting that Thursday night on August 11th, we're going to do a 4-week training series called Stepping into Coaching. And this is for brand new coaches. This is for any coach that is looking to build their business that maybe started but hasn't reached senior coach yet. And it's also for you as the sponsor to help you get more comfortable. What we want to do is help you get more comfortable with the mindset and the action steps that what we do with a new coach when they come on board. So we're going to do some of the heavy lifting for you. We're going to bring these newer coaches together in community, and this will be Thursday nights at 8. So be talking it up this week, those coach candidates. This is great. Perfect time to step in right now. Awaken 2022 is our leadership retreat. This is happening in October, but qualification is June, July, and August. So even if you haven't qualified yet, if you reach the rank of executive director or higher this month, you can join us. And that's going to take place here in Atlanta. But if you have qualified, just a reminder to go ahead and register. Started seeing a lot of registrations come in today, not to miss that deadline of August 5th to get the discounted rate. And then who would like a little help bringing on some new clients, or maybe reactivating your existing clients, maybe reawakening them? So Meg Johnson and I are hard at work behind the scenes. We're pulling together a new health challenge for you. We're going to have a couple of different images. It's just the first one we came up with. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Here it is. It's going to be called Renew You in 2022. We're going to do a 4-week challenge. It's a 28-day challenge. We're going to start it mid-month, August 15th. And then run it for 4 weeks straight. So we're going to get as much as we can out to you guys. We got some fun ideas for marketing this. We're going to get as much as we can out in the next day or so. You can start promoting this, because there's something about a sense of urgency of a challenge that with a specific starting place, that all those people that have been on the fence are ready to hop in. And I know, like Beth just said, she loves a challenge. That's how Beth joined Optavia, was when she joined me on a challenge. So, all right, enough talking by me. I'm going to turn it over to Lori. Why don't you talk about our topic and get us started tonight, Lori?
Hey, so I just want to warn you, when you have a great idea, you get to teach it on team time. I texted Dee and I said, hey, I have a great idea. What if we got together and we talked about 10 secrets that we wanted coaches to know? And Dee's my coach. And she said, that is great. When do you want to teach? So I'm excited. I mean, we kind of huddled up and got our brains together. So I hope that you guys see the benefit of what we're teaching tonight. And I want to tell you that Dee is my coach. So I'm coming to you from learning, just like a lot of you are. Super excited. So that being said, Dee, I am ready for number one. Number one is, here's the secret. Your coach is never too busy for mentorship. And, there are times, I'll admit that I've hidden because I was tired. I was hidden because I had something going on. My nutrition wasn't where it needed to be. And I felt ashamed about that. And the times that I reached out to Dee, there's so much freedom there, because what I did not find was judgment and scolding. What I found was love and acceptance and encouragement to keep going on. So what we know is that our program works for health. And we also know that our program works for building coaches. So our goal as mentors is to show you a system, and you show other people the system. And just like we have clients that after the first week can explain the 5-in-1, that's exactly how it is to grow coaches too. So our goal, we do it for you. We watch you do it and we give you feedback. And then lastly, we do it confidently. We watch you do it confidently. So we are never too busy for mentorship. That was number one. All right, Dee, you're up.
Okay, so number two is we believe that tips calls really do invite and welcome new coaches. So that is a process, the tips call, the celebration call. I would just ask this question and be honest. You know, I like to be transparent. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being that I follow the process of bringing a client to a tips call. Tips call is usually done around day 7. I bring every client to a tips call. That rate yourself as a 10, rate yourself as a 1 if you're like, what's a tips call? And if, you know, anywhere in between, just drop in the comments, where do you think you are on your consistency with doing tips calls? Okay. So a little bit of, and thank you guys for being honest. Okay, awesome. So I am glancing at this, and I can tell you at first glance, coaches that were up there in the 8, 9s, and 10s are the ones that are adding coaches to their team and building senior coaches. One I saw right on there, and I know she wouldn't mind me saying it, is Sarah Bond. And Sarah, initially, she has spoken on our calls before about not doing tips calls, not really understanding them, not really thinking she had time for them. And that was the game changer. And she just reached the prestigious rank of FIBIC in the month of July. So they really do matter. And this is going to go directly in correlation with what Lori said. Your mentor is not too busy. I don't care if I'm your mentor or if it's another global director or presidential director, whatever. That is part of what we do, is support our coaches with these tips and celebration calls. Susan Palace and Dan Bell do them for me. Okay, so that's how that works. So the integral part of the business, and if you're looking to grow, doing those tips calls is part of it. All right, Lori, number 3.
All right, number 3, your coach always wants to talk about your personal health. So you guys, a lot of us came into this program for accountability. So in the chat, can you put a 1 if one of the reasons was personal accountability with your health? Yes, good. So great. Blow it up. Absolutely. So we all came into this business thinking one of the benefits would be our own personal health. And remember, we're not perfect. There's never going to be a day that we arrive. Our health is always, okay, what's the next goal? What's the next goal? So one of the things to remember is your coach always wants to talk about your health. One of the things I've noticed personally, I've been in this business almost 7 years, is when I'm in fat burn, my business is too. And so when I'm focused on my goals, focused on my health, striving forward, it just comes out naturally. But the times when I'm struggling, I feel like, I'm kind of like, oh, I feel like I'm leading hypocritically. And so I encourage you, whether you're struggling or you're having a great time with your health right now, to touch base with your coach about it. So, all right, Dee, number 4, we're ready.
I know we're rolling through these. All right, so number 4, and I mean, the first one to stand in line with this, your coach is not perfect and truly understands, and we don't have all the answers. So I'm going to tell you right here, I sit convicted, because as a business coach, I can so easily, with my coaches, jump right to the business and overlook their personal health. It's not that I don't want to talk about it. I'm just not perfect and I slip over it, so I want to right from the get-go tell you that I don't always play by all the rules. I try to do it best. But the one thing I think the biggest message we want you to know is that sometimes we look at other individuals and we think, well, if I was only as organized as Lori is, or if I could only speak as eloquently as Shauna does, or if I could only do that, right? And your coach isn't perfect. Whatever might be their strength, there's another weakness, right? Whatever strengths you have could perfectly complement your coach. So we don't have it all. And the other thing I want you to know is that we don't have all the answers. So if you're feeling like you can't be a leader, or you can't grow in this business, or you can't be a successful coach unless you have all the answers, that's just a myth. Right? Because what I do is I know where to find them. right? I've been around here enough to know. Now, over time, enough repetition, you start to know it off the top of your head. But there are many things that I still to this day go to nutrition support for, that I consult with other coaches with, that I, go to my mentorship with, that I go to business leader support if something behind the scenes isn't working. So just know that we don't know it all, but we will help you find the answers that you're looking for.
Indeed, just to add on to that, I love the example Meg said when a client texted her and said, "Hey, how does mustard count on the program?" And she said, "I don't know, put it on the page. Let's find out. I don't need that." And the same thing is true. So often I've used our resources, the coaches page, and just pick Dee's brain just to see. So that's always okay to do that. All right. You ready for number 5, guys? Here we go. Your coach fully expects you to grow personally. Your coach fully expects you to grow personally. So you guys, one of the things I think that we sometimes get in our heads about and tell stories about is that we're expected to be perfect. So if you come on as a coach, you got to have perfect health. You got to be doing all these perfect things. And we don't allow ourselves this space to grow, much like when we were clients and we stepped into the program. It took a little bit of time to get going. I always joke and tell this story because it's true. When I started program on the 5-in-1, Dee called day 2 and she said, "How'd it go? Did you eat your optional snack?" And I was like, "Yes, I ate Jell-O, a sugar-free popsicle, 10 almonds, 3 celery sticks. I ate all the optional snacks." And I say that because I'm an educated person, just like you guys are, but I ate all the optional snacks. It's just a lot of information. So mistakes are okay, just like that was okay. For me to be a new client and do that, mistakes are okay for you as a coach. I want to share an experience I had with you too, before I turn it back over to Dee. My first client called Dee and she said that she did not want me to coach her, that she wanted Dee to coach her. And that was hard, you guys. But I tell you this because I kind of came in with this mindset, like just do the program, just do the program. And I had not developed empathy. And I kind of had to walk it back a little bit and say, could I have been more gentle? Could I have not been so strict? Because I am a teacher by trade. So I'm kind of like, and I get all in my head about that. But, when I look back at that season, I recognized that I had not developed the empathy that I needed to really sit with other people. So as you're learning, if you make a mistake, you just get with your coach and you learn. That was a hard thing for me. I was like, am I really cut out for this? Imagine the stories that was client 1. But I'm still here. And so I just encourage you guys, mistakes are okay. You're going to grow. The things that you do as a brand new coach you might not do in a year or 2. All right, that was number 5. Dee, we are ready for number 6.
I feel like I need to do number 5.5 because it just popped in my head. Can I make this 11 tips? But what I would also say is don't be afraid to, this is not number 6, I'll say it, but in relative to what Lori said, do you know how hard it was for me as her coach, her very first client, to say, "Lori, we got a minute," and have that hard conversation about her client. But I needed to give her that feedback and we talked it through, right? And that's how we started to uncover. But we can't be afraid to have kind of the hard conversations either, because that's where growth happens. And it was uncomfortable for me and for somebody who would previously, and sometimes still do, run from conflict. It was hard, but worthwhile. But it does correlate to number 6, because number 6 is your coach wants you to know the value of attending trainings and events. So I know I'm preaching to the choir here, right? Because we got 70 of us here on the call. So you know the value of coming together and learning together and growing together. But if you asked me, Dee, what made the biggest difference in your business? I will say it's because I was mentored to attend the trainings, and most importantly, or as importantly, and to attend all events, that I qualified for as well. And we're so lucky now because so many events are made virtual if you can't go in person. But it really is the game changer. It was through this, like I see lots of you guys taking notes, and I think that's so great. There's something for me as a student, and to this day, you know, I'm sitting there with you at convention and I'm taking notes and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's good, you know, and I'm writing it down because it's hitting me in a different way. So every stage of the game, you're going to learn. But the way I learned this business was I would listen to the way different people said things, the different ways that people talk, the different ways that they shared something, the different ways they delivered the program, whatever it might be. And, you know, some things I'd be like, oh, couldn't see myself saying that. But then somebody else, I would say, oh, that sounds so much better than what I've been doing. So it's just these little opportunities just to tweak, tweak, tweak. And that's how you refine and you master your craft as a coach, is through training and ongoing education.
All right, you guys, number 7, we want to help you project what's going on in your business. We want to help you project what's going on in your business. So I mentioned I'm a teacher and I'm an English teacher. So numbers are kind of like French in my head. You know, I see numbers and I'm like, oh my goodness. And the story I told myself is I will never understand that back office. I will never understand how to predict what my business is doing. And you guys, once I really got with people who did understand that, and I started projecting my business, because at the end of the month, I'd be like, oh, that was good, or oh, how'd that happen? I don't know. And so it's really important as entrepreneurs that we recognize the trends in our business and we see, and we're tracking that. We're not staring at it every day because we think that staring at it will change the numbers, but we're understanding our back office, our Connect. We're also completing our monthly action plan. And at first, when I was doing my monthly action plan, I was all in my head. Now I put it in a folder and I wouldn't look at it until the next month. And I'd pull it out and I'd be like, oh, I thought that person was a coach candidate. I wasn't working it. But when you really truly understand the monthly action plan, you've got all of, especially the new one that we taught on not too long ago, and get with your mentor about that if you're not using it yet. But you're funneling, you're watching people's orders, you're noticing who's stepping up with their program and who's really stepping into a potential coach candidate. You're getting those people on tips calls, and there's places to trace all of that on the new one. So I encourage you to get with your mentor to look at the new, we call it a MAP, monthly action plan. And I have to tell you, no matter how long I've been a coach, I'm still learning about projections. So Dee helps me with that. So I just encourage you to take a glance at that, and there you go. All right, Dee, I'm turning it over to you for number 8.
Okay. All right. So number 8, and somebody did ask, would somebody type them out or whatever? Lori and I will put our document in. I'll put it with the replay of this, so you have them written out as well. But number 8 is that your coach wants you to know that we see your dreams. We see them. We often see them and believe them before you do. We see your dreams, and we also know that the way to them is through sponsoring. This is a very labor-intensive business if we build it with clients only. It is absolutely an option to do that. Absolutely. It was part of the way the compensation plan was built. And if you are supporting just clients and you're happy with your income and the level of work with that, that is A-okay. That is A-okay. We do want every client to have the opportunity to coach if they want, though. I will say that. But what we also know is we are going to hit a stopping place. We're going to hit a stopping place if it's through clients only, because as one person, you can only help so many, right? You only have so many hours in the day. You only know so many, et cetera. So you are going to probably cap out between $3,000 and $5,000 a month on if you're in clients only. But let's say you want to make 75,000. Let's say you want to make 100,000. Let's say you want to make 150,000. The way that we get to the higher income levels, which that is where you start to find the time freedom that most of us are looking for, that is where we start to find the income flexibility that maybe now we have choices. Maybe we could cut back on one of our jobs. Maybe we could cut back to part-time. Maybe we could walk away from one, right? But we've got to build it to that income. So that, yeah, so the 3,000 to 5,000 is a month is the highest that you could go on for just handling clients. So great question, great clarification. So if you want to build and you want those dreams, and what we don't want, we want you to dream, because Optavia is your vehicle. It is your vehicle, and it will, if it's blown your socks off so far, try sponsoring and building a team, and you'll be blown away by the multiplication effect of it. So we want what you want, but we also are thinking one step ahead of you to help you go to your next level.
That's so awesome. Thank you. I don't know if you were at convention and you wrote down on the napkin your dreams. If you still have your napkins, we chatted about that. One of the things that Optavia has personally provided for me, and this is not number 9, this is just a side note, this is an 8C or whatever D, but as a side note, is I'm shocked at how much Optavia has provided for me to give away. It's a higher standard of giving, you know, so I just love being benevolent. So I'm grateful for that. Hey, number 9 is just a huge shout out to you guys. I've been a coach almost 7 years, and we see you supporting your clients, and especially like the Eat, Live, and Be Healthy page just blows up. So, so your coach wants you to know that we see that excellent client support that you're offering. You guys just are amazing. I think I've seen lately, don't hack the program if you're going to get modified results. I've seen that 10 times, and I love that statement, because when we start deviating from the program, we start seeing deviated results. We see you guys in that page and supporting our clients and everyone else's clients. So just a job well done. We love it that you're making phone calls. We love it that you're following these systems, because when it all comes down to it, we have to start with a great client base so that we can find our coaches in there. A lot of times that's where the coaches are going to come from. So your coach wants you to know that we believe in you and we see awesome client support. So thanks for that, you guys. All right, D, number 10. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, number 10. So we can probably spend more than a minute on this one, because I think it's a big one. Your coach wants you to know that facing fear in this business is a real thing. It's probably the biggest challenge, potentially the biggest obstacle that we may face. You know, we probably do. Throw a 10 in the chat if you've hit fear in the past 7 days with this business. Yeah, past 7 days, right? How many of us came at a convention like, I'm gonna call everybody, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh gosh, what am I supposed to say, right? It's so easy, right, to get caught up in our dreams, but then when the action steps take place, yeah, time to take action, right? But fear is a choice. And what I think after all these years of coaching, what I would probably the biggest message I would say is allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be a beginner at every stage of the game. So if you're a brand new coach and you haven't done clients, you had your first client yet, whatever, allow yourself to be teachable. Allow yourself, forgive yourself that, you know what, probably the first few people you coach, they're not going to be as good as the 100th person that you coach. When you're a senior coach, when you're an executive director, when you bring on your first coach, all of this, we become beginners again. Right? Even as an integrated presidential director, I am a beginner all the time, right? Anytime I'm collecting money for a team party, I'm doing stuff I've never done before, right? And I got to allocate it, but you figure it out. You're like, okay, I could let fear stop me and won't do a team party. Or you say, you know what, I'll figure this out and we'll make it happen. And at every stage of the game, that's what it is. And I think that's where we're hardest on ourselves. Most of us on this call are achievers, right? Where we want to be successful. We came into this because we're driven. We don't like to make mistakes, right? But it's through mistakes that you learn. It is through mistakes that we grow. And really, I'm just gonna, if you're thinking that the fear goes away, even at my level, it doesn't. What we do get comfortable with is choosing courage. And I think I've shared with you guys before, my favorite word, I pick a word of the year, but my most powerful word I ever chose was the year I chose courage. And I still use it all the time when I'm faced with decisions. And when I'm faced with a choice, faced with something hard, faced with something I don't want to do, the question that goes through my head is, what's the courageous thing to do? And the courageous thing to do is always going to be the thing that puts you face to face with that fear. But we can't go around it, right? We can't run from it. We can run from it, but it's not going to get you where you want to go. The only way we get to where we want is we got to go through it. And it's messy and it's sticky and it's icky and sometimes it's awesome. Most of the time it's what starts to build our confidence. It's like your child taking that first step, right? Remember their face, like if you had children and when they start to do it, they're like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. That happens to us as coaches as well. So we just wanted to take a pause because you really are doing a stellar job. You're doing a stellar job. And I know that we get up in our heads. We get up in our heads about how we're doing as a coach. How's our business doing? Are we growing at the pace we want? Comparison is a terrible thief of joy. And I love Lori. Thank you for coming up with this idea to spend some time talking about what are the secrets, because the secrets are, we don't have the answers. We're here for you, right? We see you and we want to help you accomplish your dreams. I mean, we probably could have done it in 4, right, Lori? Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, actually, I just want to tell you guys in my own personal, I worked full time for about 4.5 years while I was growing this business. And I remember saying to Dee, just please don't give up on me. And so if I could add anything else, it would be that your mentor is not going to give up on you. I remember with tears streaming in my face saying, please don't give up on me. So I just want to encourage you guys. So I'm loving your chat. Thank you so much. I think Dee and I were a little scared tonight to just share all of our heart about we don't have all the answers, but we're glad that you're here and grateful for you.
Absolutely. And all we ask is that you pay it forward to the next one, pay it forward to the next coach. Take this. These are hopefully you can, like I said, we'll give you the access to the document. You can print it and it's that simple. Just love on, your coach loves you and wants to love on you and help you achieve your goals. So thank you guys for being on tonight. So much good stuff happening. Excited about the new coach training, the sneak peek into coaching, our new you in 2022 health challenge. So lots and lots of good stuff. Lori, thank you for your idea and your participation. And we'll see you again next week on Team Time. Bye, guys.